The response has been beyond my wildest imagination. We've had between 300 to 500 visitors every day, which is more than sometimes we have in London or New York. It's been very well received. We had great new collectors, existing one, international people. It's been really, truly magical. The reception here has been fantastic. Everyone's so supportive, so excited for such a historical moment, and we're very excited by tonight.
Speaking of the historical moment, you think how significant this is, the first of its kind of an international auction here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia?
It's historical for many reasons because new auctions and new platforms are very rare. They don't happen often. That means the market and Sotheby's really believes in an art platform. That means we really believe in a new space, and that means we're ready to invest a lot of time, energy, and resources in a new venture like this. It's also extremely exciting and rare because we bring so many artworks, so many luxury items. It involves a huge operation. I mean, we're a team of 50 plus that's taking care of this auction. It's been in the journey and in the books for around 6 months. So it's been a great adventure. And I think at a time where this country is so focused on Vision 2030, focused on its cultural program, on its art, on its community, and its art community, I think it's a great thing for us to be here as one of the leading auction houses in the world to really bring a different type of works to the kingdom and exhibit them.
So you talked about global art. So how does it help global art and local artists to bridge the gap together? This auction?
It's a very good question. First of all, I think creating conversations, creating synergies, creating interesting, again, conversations between international artists and local artists. A lot of local artists were influenced by international artists and vice versa. You have so many European artists who are influenced by Egyptian artists or artists from the Levant. We also want to understand what are people interested in, what are people looking for. So that was one of the important points of bringing such a wide variety of artists from all horizon, all periods. I mean, we have practically 120 years of art practice from 1905 to 2024, which is a huge amount of periods, artistic movements, artists, regions. So for me, it was very important to cast the widest net possible to bring a bit of a flavor of everything. Artists that are relevant internationally, but also artists that at the moment are very much talked about in the kingdom. You have a group of artists, Robert Indiana, Alexander Calder, or Ugo Rodinone, who are all installed in the new subway station terminals. James Turrell, who is unveiling a work in Alula, a huge installation in the desert. Rafik Anadol, who's one of the greatest digital artists, who's currently at the Futures space and at Team Lab. So we're responding to a lot of important moments here and stories that are happening in the country, and we have our finger on the pulse, and I think that's what's very exciting.
So a two-part question. Do you think this is like a cultural renaissance moment for Saudi Arabia? And how does this help shape the image of Saudi Arabia in the art scene?
Saudi Arabia has always had a rich cultural history. I think, yes, at the moment there's a lot of focus on it internationally and locally. It is probably one of the most exciting countries and regions in the world in terms of culture, so it's really wonderful what they're doing. And what was your second question?
The second question is like, how does this, help shape the image of Saudi Arabia globally in the art scene?
When you have such a rich heritage as Saudi Arabia, and you have such a rich variety of artists from the 60s to today, it helps bring attention to the country, to its heritage, to its history, to its depth. And it really helps bring a wider audience to actually the amazing things this country is doing for its cultural and arts program. And I see more and more when I come, but also when I travel, that more and more people are asking about Saudi Arabia. What's going on? What are they doing? This is so exciting. The Biennale, the Islamic Art Biennale, the Diriyah Biennale, all the exhibitions, all the artist studios, the public commission. So there's just so much going, and I think it brings so much attention to the country, and it's shedding a really positive and vibrant light on how rich and diverse the kingdom is in terms of its art offering.
So just one final question.
Sure.
Arts and collectibles wealth is projected to be $3 trillion economy by 2026. So do you think Riyadh will catch up to powerhouses like Singapore, New York, and Hong Kong?
100%. I think there's so much to do here. There's so much investment in a lot of other financial categories, but also in the arts and culture and collectibles. We also have, a lot of luxury items, watches, sports memorabilia, jewelry, and handbags. So this is just the beginning of a very long journey. This is a big country in terms of population. You're talking about 30 million plus. There's a lot of wealth, yes, but there's also a huge middle class. There's a young generation here who's hungry for so many new things, and art is one of them, and luxury items and memorabilia as well. So there is just so much potential long term, and I feel we're just at the beginning of it. Look at how long it took so many countries now that are in a very different place, how long it took them to get here, and I think we're doing things here at such a great pace. The local talent is huge, and I see that in a lot of sectors where there's so much investment in the youth. And again, I mentioned it's a young population, but there's so much investment in the youth, like giving them the opportunities to build the future of this country. And me as a foreigner who's coming more and more here and who's finding everything so extraordinary and so interesting and fascinating, where this is really where it's happening right now. In Saudi Arabia, whether it's in Jeddah, Dammam, Riyadh, or anywhere, this is where everything's happening.
Thank you so much, Ashkan. Thank you so much for your time.